Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sippin' on Stories podcast with me, Mandy, your host. I'm so delighted that you're here. You guys really loved last week's episode with Allie. I had a lot of people reach out and just tell me how much they really appreciated that conversation and just how important that they felt that it was for people to hear. And I know that Allie said that she had people reach out to her as well. So thank you for listening and supporting her and her experience. If you haven't yet listened to it, I would suggest that you go back and listen to the episode right before this when you're done. For today's episode, are you ready for my who this person is and how I know them? We have Michael, who, if you listened to the episode with my friend Michelle, when she talked about how she did not want to date her now husband, Michael, this would be that Michael. Michael is a YouTuber. That is his full-time job right now. And I am always interested to know how people in YouTube kind of got their start and got to where they are now. So Michael came on to tell us his experience with becoming a successful YouTuber. I did realize that I forgot to ask him what his favorite drink was, which I have almost done a couple of other times through this podcast, but I've always caught myself, but not this time. So I did text him and ask, and he said that he loves a good Italian cream soda with extra cream, which I thought sounded really good. I have only had a couple of those in my lifetime, but I liked them, so haven't had that one yet on this podcast. Anyway, so here is Michael to tell his journey of starting YouTube and where he is now. Okay, then I think instead of me doing like a intro into who you are, I'm going to let you do that.
Sweet. You ready for this?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I am Sippin' on Stories podcast here, and I got you go by Mandy on the podcast, right?
I do. I don't have a code name. So.
I'm taking over. My name is Michael. I have a YouTube channel with almost 1.5 million subscribers, and I cover a mobile game called Brawl Stars. So I guess today we're going to be talking a little bit about my story and what it's like to be a mobile gaming YouTuber. So that's weird, right?
I think it's fun.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun with it.
I would hope so.
Yeah. So I guess my question for you, since I'm the host here, is what do you want to talk about? Because there's a lot of different things we could discuss. We could talk about what it's like to create content. We could talk about gaming. We could talk about my story and how my channel kind of grew and how I ended up landing in this.
Yeah.
So what do you think we should start off with?
Okay, well, since it's my podcast, I'm going to choose what I want to hear.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, I'm not the host, I guess. Okay.
So I know that like influencing and things like that are a lot more common, I feel like. But a lot of times I look at those people and I'm like, how did you even get there? Because it seems confusing how people would, start their journey. So I think just start from the beginning. I mean, obviously I know some parts of this, but just start from like why you wanted to even start this, how long it took you, how you got started, and then kind of just to where you are now. And I'll ask some more questions probably later.
Cool. Yeah. So it's interesting because, when we were growing up, influencer was not a word.
No.
Didn't exist. Like you had actors and you had radio station hosts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for us, it wasn't even a thing. And so my stories really honestly kind of starts way back when I was just really, really young. And it's just, I loved playing video games. Loved it. It was how I made friends. I connected with other people by playing games with them. And it just like that was my best friends that I have now our first conversation was like, hey, do you play RuneScape? And he was like, yeah, I play RuneScape. And then we're like, let's go play RuneScape. And then we were best friends. And he's still my best friend, you know, aside from my wife, Michelle, who's already been on the podcast.
Yeah.
And so games have always connected me with other people. It's how I build. It's how I've spent a lot of my life building relationships with other people. Not everybody, obviously. I mean, my wife, she hates video games.
Yes.
It's not, you know, but it's one way that I connect with other people. And so I graduated from with a bachelor's in exercise physiology back in 2014 or 2019 or 15, one of the two. And after that, I had applied to a few doctorate programs for physical therapy school, and I had been accepted. But I had about a year between when I had graduated and when I would actually start. And at the time, I was playing a game called Clash Royale, and I was pretty good at the game. I wasn't the pro, but I was like, you know, top 1 percentile when it came to like skill in the game. And I thought it was super fun. I loved it. I was playing it every single day. And so true to my old self, where I just like really connect with other people through video games, I was like, I want to make some YouTube videos. I had seen some other YouTubers make videos on it, and I knew that they were like full-time content creators, and I did not know what that meant.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is cool. So I'm going to start making videos on this game and just make videos like and connect with other people online about this game, because none of my other friends were really playing Clash Royale, and I was really obsessed with it. I was playing it all the time. And so I wanted to connect with other people. So I started making videos, and it took me like my first video release, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. YouTube, what is this? Like, people are watching this and they're
like
commenting?
Me with my first podcast episode. I'm like, what? There's actually some people that listened? That's crazy.
It was so weird. And so I was like, this is really, really cool and interesting. And
how
like,
did you record that first video? What did you use?
Yeah, so I did not use a camera at the time. I borrowed a friend's microphone, and I learned how to video edit. That first video was the hardest video to make. Like, I mean, I've actually made way more difficult videos since then, but it was the hardest because it was such a bad video. It was so bad. The audio was awful.
Is it still on YouTube?
The gameplay was awful. It is now on YouTube, but you have to. It's not easily findable. And it was so bad, but I spent so much time just teaching myself how to video edit and how to do this stuff, like watching YouTube videos on how to video edit and stuff like that. It just like was a really hard thing to do and release. And I used a program called OBS. It's Open Broadcasting Software, which I used still for filming all of my content. And it's just really great and easy. All streamers use it, all video gaming content creators. There may be some other stuff that people use. I had just learned about the what you're using here, which is a Riverside app. Didn't even know that existed. So this is something I can consider for future videos if I ever want to do something like this. But yeah, and then I just video edited with a program called Adobe Premiere, and I had like a student applet of it or whatever, and then I used a free program called GIMP, which is kind of an equivalent to Photoshop, not nearly as useful and robust as Photoshop is, but that's what I started with because it was free.
Yeah. And
so that's where I started out, and I used that for my thumbnails for the YouTube videos. Not that I mean, honestly I could have used Microsoft Paint how bad my first thumbnails were. But it was interesting. It started off with a love of connecting with other people through video games. And, you know, if people are watching this and they're not interested in video games, that's cool. Whatever. It really doesn't matter. Like, you have interests, and those interests will connect you with other people. You might be interested in all sorts of different things. Example, I've got a sister who doesn't play video games, but she's really into cheerleading, and she coaches cheerleading, and she has made so many beautiful relationships with people that she has cheered with and who she has taught in cheerleading. And that's something that has connected her with other people. For me, it just happened to be video games, but on YouTube, there are YouTube channels all about cheerleading. There are YouTube videos all about cooking. There's YouTube videos about fashion, about media. There are YouTube videos that just cover the most recent Disney video that was released. You know, everything is on YouTube. And for me, it was just YouTube or video games. And I just continued releasing videos, and they continued to gain more traction. And it was good, and I loved it. And it was just like, I continued making videos because I like video games, but it really did at some point transition to me just loving creation of videos and putting it out and seeing people respond to it. There's something really human about putting a lot of work and effort into something and creating it and putting it out to other people to see and see how they respond to that. They react to this piece of artwork that you made, and they'll either like it or they won't like it, or they'll like what you have to say. It's just really interesting. People have been relating over content or over creation since the very beginnings. I mean, we're talking about paints on stone walls, or sculptures in ancient Greece or whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, creation is a very human thing. I really fell in love with that side of YouTube. So that's kind of how it started.
How long would you say it took you till you got like your first 100 views or 100 subscribers?
Yeah, I was really smart about how I started, and not everybody's story is going to be similar to what I did, but I have always been a good writer. My mom really fostered a love for writing in me. And so what I did, I released my first YouTube video, and alongside it, I wrote a guide, think of it like an article or something you would, anyway, whatever. And I reached out to this website and I was like, hey, I wrote this guide, and he was already posting or written guides on his site that was actually generating a lot of stuff. So I sent him a message. And I'm like, I've got this guide and I have this video. Would you be willing to share the video if I let you use my written guide? And he was like, sounds great. So, because, it was free money for him, basically. Man, it's interesting. I haven't thought about this guy in so long. I don't even know how to reconnect with him. Anyway, whatever. And so it did not take long. My first video really did fairly well. I think maybe like 1,000 views early on, and I got my first 100 subscribers fairly early on. I mean, it only took a couple of weeks after I released that first video, because I then made my second video and my third video and did the same thing. I wrote guides, and I post those guides along with my YouTube video, and that kind of built me a good foundation. I think that I was at somewhere between 1,000 and 5,000 subscribers within like a couple of months, which is fairly fast for somebody who is starting off, and for somebody who at the time was producing such a low quality video that I was releasing. It really was the website that I was posting these guides on really drove a lot of traffic towards my YouTube channel and kind of started things off. But once I reached that point, it was so slow for so long. Took me a really long time. I really should have looked up the dates and everything when I started, before we started filming, because I'm going to mess things up. But I think it took me a good year and a half before I actually dropped this game, Clash Royale, and started working on a game called Brawl Stars. And Brawl Stars is now what I produce content on. Brawl Stars was also a game that was released by Supercell, which were the creators of Clash Royale, which is the game that I originally started making videos on. And they released this game called Brawl Stars, but it was in a beta, meaning that they were just testing things out. They wanted to see if people liked it. They wanted to know what kind of improvements they thought that should be added to the game before they actually released the video or released the game globally or whatever. And I really fell in love with the game. I thought it was really fun, and I really enjoyed the community in Brawl Stars. And there were a lot of small content creators. And so for another year and a half, I grew from maybe about 10,000 subscribers to like 30,000 subscribers.
You're still in school, right? Or is this still in the year that you're off?
Yeah. So this was Brawl Stars was released in a beta, very small early access, about oh man, sorry, I'm trying to remember.
Oh, that's
I don't know. It was somewhere close to when I started my doctorate program.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit after, maybe a little bit sooner. Memory is very fallible.
It's been 10 years, which is crazy. But...
Yeah, so I started my doctorate program, and it was really interesting because my doctorate program was for physical therapy. I love the human body. I think it's really fascinating, and I loved learning those things. And I also loved YouTube, and these were like these two, core things that I really just had in me. I just loved both video gaming and content creation, alongside with learning about the body and how to help people be more healthy and how to help them recover, all the different things that a physical therapist might do. And for the first year of this doctorate program, there was a very slow crossing over where I was like mostly interested in the body and still interested in making videos and stuff like that. And then over time, somewhere along the lines of that first year, it kind of swapped where like I was losing interest in pursuing my education, not because it was difficult or anything like that. I mean, it was difficult, but it was just like, I just couldn't get this whole idea of content creation for video games out of my mind. And that really started off or happened. That swap really happened when I was invited to Finland, where this game developer is located. And we filmed what could be the global launch stream of Brawl Stars. They told us very specifically, we still might kill this game because Supercell, they've released only high quality games. They only want to release a game globally if they think it's going to be worth investing into long term. So they were like, we might kill this game, but if we launch this game, this live stream is what will launch the game.
So you were on Supercell's radar at this point.
Yes, I was on Supercell's radar. I actually wasn't initially invited to this stream, which was interesting. I wasn't initially invited, and I wrote, and it's funny, I wrote this like, I don't know, this massive, there was a whole lot of drama that was going on with the game at the time. This is so old news. But I wrote this massive page being like, okay, like, I mean, I wrote like maybe 10 pages and posted it on Reddit of calling out the subreddit for being idiots and also calling out Supercell for being idiots. Like, I was like, you guys are being so stupid. You're so dramatic. Calm down. And also, the Brawl Stars developers need to do all these changes in order to make the game good. And I put that out there, and it gathered a lot of feedback, and the community really rallied behind what I had said.
Well, you said you're a good writer, so clearly.
Yeah, I wrote this thing. I mean, this is so long ago. It's so funny to think about now. And then Supercell also read this, and they were like, this guy's good. Like, clearly the community is behind him, and like, you know, it's interesting because people call me out now for being like, I don't know, like being on Supercell's payroll or whatever, because I'll often talk about like the drama within the community and stuff like that. But really, the reason I got on their radar in the first place was for calling them out.
That is funny.
Like, and they really appreciated the feedback, and they liked hearing it from somebody who was well spoken and who was able to see both sides of things, and also was able to rally the community behind them. So then they invited me on this stream. And I knew about this because one of my other content creator friends was also really small. He was invited in the stream long before I was. And
was this Lex?
That was Lex. Yeah. So he was invited to go there, and I wasn't until I don't know. Anyway, it's funny. So they invited me, and I was there, and it was me and Lex. And we are these tiny little fish in this pond with these massive YouTubers. Okay, it's me and him. We have no subscribers. We're like, 20 to 30,000 subscribers, hanging out with these content creators, these Supercell content creators who've been doing it for a long time that we had been watching for years. I mean, these were the people that inspired us to create content, and they had millions of subscribers, and they were here essentially like we were just playing Brawl Stars on this live stream. It wasn't a live stream. It was a video that would be released when the game was going to be released. And we were just like, this is crazy. And we started getting into conversations with these guys, and they were like, yeah, you can make really good money of it. I had a really good conversation with a guy. His name was Clash with Ash. And I was like, I've just got to ask you a really big personal question. Would you be willing to just lay out your finances for me?
Oh, that's the question I would want to know so bad.
I know, right? I was just like, how much money do you make? Where does the money come in? And at what point did you start making money enough for you to be able to do full time? And
I feel like that's the question that I want to ask like every influencer and YouTuber that I see. I'm like, tell me how much you're making and like all the details. But anyway.
And so I don't want to tell his finances, and I also don't want to share my finances. But he was sharing all this information with me, and I was just like, whoa, he's not only making like decent money. It's not like he's surviving off of this. I mean, he was making 2 to 4 times what I could ever make as a physical therapist at the time, unless you're a physical therapist and you go into like a business and you like build up a chain or whatever. But like, most physical therapists were making 1/4 of what he could make. And at the time that just like blew my mind. And it was just like, man, I've got to make this work out. Yeah. And it wasn't about the money. it was just that I really had this passion for creativity, and I had this really big passion for connecting with other people in video games. And it's just like, obviously it was way more fun than,
School
my doctorate program, school, and, having to work with all the paperwork from insurance companies and stuff like that. Like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like I could get to the point with physical therapy where I could really feel good about myself and really make a difference in people's lives, and that it would eventually get to the point where it was fun and exciting, solving new problems for my patients and stuff like that. I really think I could have gotten there. But making videos on video games obviously was fun immediately.
Of course.
It was just way more fun. And so if you could make more money doing that, obviously, like, I'm wanting to do that. So my motivation to do well in school dropped. My motivation to create content skyrocketed. And I finished out the first year of physical therapy school. And when I heard that I got the official word, it was me and Lex and another guy who is a moderator at the of the community, the subreddit community at the time. We were the first people outside of Supercell to be told that Brawl Stars was going to be launched globally. And we knew that meant we had a massive opportunity to grow our audiences to a large enough size that we could not only live off of this financially and support a good life for our family, but also that we could potentially get significantly more than that and also produce enough revenue for us to support other people doing exactly what we were doing. Mm-hmm. Editors, script writers, other people. Like, I wanted to support their lives as well, so that all of us, all my good friends, could make a living doing something that they really loved. And so I decided to drop out of physical therapy school. I went on a leave of absence, and they said, hey, if you want to come back after a year, we will hold a spot with you. You can join your cohort a year after you. And I was like, I'm going to take that. I had about 6 months of, I had enough savings that we could survive off of about 6 months. And I took the leap to go full-time content creation when I was making pennies on the dollar, or pennies to the hour is what I was making. It was not a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I did so 3 or 4 months before Brawl Stars went global.
Okay.
And at that time, I built a portfolio of content that I knew would do well on YouTube, because I kind of went from being a student of physical therapy to being a student of YouTube. Mm-hmm. And my first month, I don't even remember. I might not have even released a single video during that time, which sounds really scary. I just dropped out of, I just dropped out of my doctorate program to make a living on YouTube, and I stopped making videos. But instead, that whole first month was just me watching as much YouTube content. And what I would do is I'd open up an incognito window so that YouTube would show me what is popular of the day without taking of my any previous watch time. Like, I didn't have an algorithm on the
That's really smart.
Yeah, I didn't have an algorithm every time I opened up my incognito window of YouTube. Mm-hmm. And I just watched everything, whether I was interested in it or not. Whatever was first on the YouTube page, I would watch it. So I just became a student of YouTube, and I watched everything, and I pulled out a notebook, and I wrote down, why would people click on this thumbnail? What about this title makes people interested in this? And then I'd watch the video, and I would say, why do I want to click off of this at certain points? And why do I want to continue watching this? Because some videos do a really good job at keeping your interest. Yeah. I started watching YouTubers talk about why they or how they grew on YouTube. I watched all sorts of different videos on how to become a YouTuber, and I really became a student of it. And then I really focused on making videos that would do really well and would trend. And it was so funny. I would spend 40 hours on a video, and I'd release this video, and it would get like 5,000 views. Mm-hmm. Like, not good, right? Like no. It was like, but I knew that this would happen.
Yeah.
And so then Brawl Stars went global, and all of these other YouTubers who were producing content on Brawl Stars would make a video, on other games, would make a video about Brawl Stars. And all the viewers would go to that video of the content creator they've been watching for years, and they were like, I want to watch this. Oh, interesting, Brawl Stars. I kind of like this. This is interesting. I'll start playing it. But what was recommended next? My videos. Mm-hmm. Because my videos had high click-through rates and high average view durations, and YouTube had flagged it as, this is a good video that we want to share with other people. But before the game was launched globally, there wasn't interest in it. But once there was interest in it, my channel blew up.
Mm-hmm.
I went from 50,000 subscribers that I had worked on for, the past 3 years or whatever, to 150,000 subscribers within a month.
Which is just crazy.
It's crazy. I grew 3 times the size of my channel.
And meanwhile, what are you thinking? Because I know it was scary, for you and Michelle to quit school and be like, okay, we'll hope for the best here. And then all of a sudden
it was crazy because it literally went from, it was 1 month we made $200 in ad revenue. And the next month we made $7,000 in ad revenue. It just blew up. We were just oh my gosh, this is crazy. We gained 100,000 subscribers the first month, and then the following month I went from 150,000 to 250,000 subscribers. My channel just blew up, and we had no idea how to handle it.
Yeah,
we were we got to start a business.
Yeah,
we got to figure out taxes. We got to get people in our corner so we understand it. And it was just wild growth. And I took all of that and it just fueled me. And I decided, you know what? We had to make this work out. And the thing was, my strategy had worked out, but I knew that any video that another content creator made was a video I couldn't make.
Mm-hmm.
Because people, if they watch a content creator from a video from an established content creator, then they've watched that video. They're not going to watch another content creator. And so I knew that I had to make unique videos that people would find interesting. And every single time another content creator released something similar to it, it was no longer a video that I could make if I wanted to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew that the only way I was going to continue this momentum was if I worked my tail off.
How many hours would you say you were working every week?
Yeah. So for the first year of me being full-time, easily over 100-hour weeks, the whole first year. And I got to the point where I needed to hire an editor. So I hired an editor. And then a lot of that time, you'd think that I would go from 100 hours a week to 80 hours a week.
No.
How
did you find your editor?
He was actually a mobile gaming content creator as well that also created content on Brawl Stars. But he kind of unfortunately missed the boat on the launch because he was completing his education.
It's ironic.
So he missed out. But anyway, so I got him on, and he's still my number one editor, and so we got a really great working relationship. And he's also creating content.
Did you reach out to him, or did you put out an application type thing?
He released a video talking about how he really wanted to be a content creator, and if he couldn't be a content creator, he wanted to be a video editor. And I was like, I like this guy. I'm going to reach out to him. So I reached out to him, and I was like, what do you think? He was like, yes, let's do it. So yeah, it was crazy. You would think that I would decrease from 100 hours a week to 80 hours a week by hiring somebody else. It's not what happens when you are an early business owner. Instead, you take those extra 20 hours that you're not video editing and you put it into, well, a lot of it was training as well. I had to train him to create videos the way that I wanted them to be created. And so his first video he sent to me, I wrote him back another 10 pages of notes and all the little things that I wanted him to change and do differently. And I mean, I can't imagine his reaction. He's like, whoa, oh my gosh, what did I get myself signed up for? But a lot of it was spent training. And then a lot of it was also making other videos. As soon as I'd send a video off to my video editor, boom, I'm right back working on another video so that I can send him another video later. So it was just a massive thing. And since then, it's the growth slowed down, but I continued to grow every month after that, up to the point now where, that was back in 2018 when the game went global. It was really the end of 2018, so 2019. So this is 6 years later. And 6 years later, I'm at almost 1.5 million subscribers. It's continued to grow. I've had to expand. I've got I've got 2 video editors, and I also have a content producer who writes scripts for me, and he's actually better at Brawl Stars than I am. So he does a lot of really great stuff for me and helps me continue to do stuff. And now I'm down to 40 to 50 hours a week. And now I'm kind of chilling. I'm chilling, working a full-time job plus some. But it's been really an interesting, and that 100-hour week progression to me now doing 40 to 50 hours a week, that was a very slow and steady thing. And yeah, I'm fairly established within the Brawl Stars community now. I still have desires to grow and expand, especially when Supercell releases more games that I enjoy. But yeah, that's where I'm at now. It's been crazy, and it's been really wild to not only be able to do something like this that would produce an income stream for my own family and be able to take care of my family's needs, but also be able to do that a little bit with some other people as well. You know, none of my employees are full time. I'm not producing enough content to give them full time work, but they're paid very well for the amount of time that they are producing and working.
I really
on
think
content.
it's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really fun. I know other content creators that continue to grow and expand, and I have a little bit of desire to do that. But honestly, I really like having a lot. I really am appreciating the work-life balance that I have now compared to the 100-hour work weeks. 100-hour work weeks. I mean, it was fun, but it was also a lot of work, and it's taken a toll on my body as well. Not being able to exercise. And I've got a degree in exercise physiology, and I'm like working with back pain from sitting all day. And so I'm like, oh, I gotta like start taking care of myself now. So yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Okay. So through the whole process, I know that you've had some pretty cool opportunities come your way through it. I know you got to do a video with Mr. Beast, right?
Yeah, I did a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
I was Mr. Beast's Squid Games video. I was one of the guys in the red jumpsuit. Brawl Stars actually sponsored that video. And so I was there with Supercell to do Brawl Stars stuff. And and I was in the red jumpsuits selecting contestants and killing them.
Oh, you were?
So I'd pull out the phone and be like, oh, that person moved. Tap on them. And it was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. I click the button. Boom.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
Their chance at like $800,000 or whatever was gone. Like I took that dream away from tons of contestants. It was fun. But also there was some behind the scenes. There was actually a whole thing on the behind that video where there was the investor. I forget what it was, but I don't know. Did a whole behind the scenes thing that did not end up going into the video. And so I did that. I have been able to. I've had my name up in lights on the Las Vegas Strip.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that was part of a sponsorship with a game called Free Fire. On that same trip, they took us helicopter riding from Las Vegas into the Grand Canyon. And when I say into, I mean we landed in the middle of the Grand Canyon. The only way you're getting there is via helicopter or hiking. And, you know, it was fun. They had all, you know, drinks and snacks and stuff like that for us all sitting around in the middle of the Grand Canyon. And then we flew back in helicopters to Las Vegas. It was so funny. I had like, it was the most crazy moment. We're taking off in helicopters, and it's not just one helicopter. Okay. You've got like a brigade of like 10 helicopters.
Yeah.
And all of these content creators, and we're going up in groups of 5, and it's just like the movies where like there's helicopters in front of you, there's helicopters behind you, the sun is setting, we're riding off into the distance, and as we pull up, they start playing music, and it's going dun 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 dun, and we're like,
so
oh my gosh! It was like the most hype moment of my life. Yeah. It was just crazy.
Like, what is my life right now?
Yeah, it was just like, I can't believe we're doing this right now. But yeah, I went to South Korea to cast the Brawl Stars World Championship, the first ever one there, where we have content creators that are there, and the best players from around the world doing that, or playing Brawl Stars, and I was casting that. That was a lot of fun. I've traveled a lot, been to Germany, Sweden, lots of trips to Finland because that's where they're located. I've been to Paris a couple of times for work. And just a lot of really fun, cool opportunities. It's kind of funny though. I kind of get tired of traveling now. I'm not doing it all the time, but it's just like exhausting because every single time I do, I have to produce content enough for me to leave and release content while I'm there. And then when I get back, I have to like recover and catch up on the content that I'm releasing. And it's really exhausting. And also I'm kind of sick of trying to get over jet lag.
Yeah.
It's not fun, but I don't want to deny the fact that I've been blessed with a lot of really cool opportunities and be able to do a lot of fun stuff. It's been great. It's been really awesome. And I've really enjoyed a lot of aspects of content creation. It's been really fun.
Are you still doing Brawl Stars, but they came out with another game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you? Yeah,
there's a game called Moko that I'm also covering. But they're doing something similar to Brawl Stars where they are kind of soft launching it.
Okay.
And they've told us they're not going to kill it. So that's nice.
They have? Oh, that's good.
They've told us they're not going to kill it, but they're also not really pushing people to download it. In fact, you could download it now, but you can't play it without an access code.
Oh, really?
So they're actually limiting the number of people that can play it.
Mhm.
And the reason why they're doing that is just so that it's easier to get a new person to download and try your game than it is to get them back if they stopped playing it because of issues with the game. And the game's just not ready yet for everybody. So
that makes sense.
they're still working on it, and they'll continue working on that. I don't know when they're going to release it fully and really push it, but I'll be there for it.
Yeah. Are you still loving Brawl Stars as much as you did at the beginning?
Yeah, that's a good question. So relationship with video games has definitely changed over the years as I've been doing this, because I'm playing Brawl Stars every single day. I haven't missed playing Brawl Stars in 906 days. Like every single day I'm doing it. That
on
means
vacation,
on vacation, holidays. On a cruise ship.
Oh yeah,
where you have to pay like $100 a day to use their stinky Wi-Fi.
I know.
Like I haven't missed a single day. It's not easy, right? People think, oh, you just get to play video games, but really there's so much work that goes into it. I would say that, maybe 30% of what I do is gameplay, and the other 70% is everything else. Content creation, communicating with sponsors, doing all sorts of different things like that, managing our contractors, and my wife actually takes care of all the finances and stuff like that, thank goodness, because that was
she's great at that.
The whole other thing that I'd have to worry about. But my relationship with gaming has definitely changed quite a bit. I still absolutely love gaming. There have been times when I've been felt very burnt out, and there have been times when I've felt very energized by Brawl Stars. And at least it's interesting. There was a period of time when playing games was just the last thing that I wanted to do. And the reason why was because every single time I would be playing a video game, whether it was Brawl Stars or not, whether I was making videos on it or not, I always had this thought of like, how would I make a video on this? How? And I was just working while I was playing.
You can't enjoy it just for fun.
Yeah. And so I had to come up with this rule for myself. And that rule was, I'm always going to have one game off to the side that I'm not allowed to make videos on. And so sometimes that game is, that game is always changing. I'm always moving from one thing or next. I keep going back to old school RuneScape because, I don't know, I love the game so much. But even still, I will take breaks from that and go play other stuff. And that has really re-energized me when it comes to playing games, which sounds like silly that I would even need to do that. But it's important.
Me, it makes total sense.
It's very important for me to be excited about the game that I cover because, people can smell the BS from a mile away. And when I say BS, I don't mean Brawl Stars. If you aren't having fun and you're not loving the game, people are going to tell that you aren't having fun and you're not loving the game and that what you're doing isn't genuine. I want them to know that what I do is genuine and I want to have fun doing it. If I wasn't loving Brawl Stars, I would just have to make videos on something else. But I've already created a really great relationship with the developers around Brawl Stars, and I have a really, really solid audience for Brawl Stars. And so it's important that I continue to really love the game. And so I have to do things in order to make sure I continue playing the game. And it's not bad. It's fun. Just today, like right before the podcast, I was like, oh, dang, I gotta put this game away so that I gotta stop playing Brawl Stars so I could go on that podcast. Why did I agree to that again? No, I'm just kidding.
I forced you in.
It's fun and it's really exciting to be able to do to enjoy that aspect every day. I look forward to playing Brawl Stars every day. So
which is good after doing it for so long. One more question about just the channel. What would you say is like the funnest brand deal that you've got to be a part of?
Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, this might not be the funnest, but I love it. I really love my partnership with Samsung.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
It's funny how I say that, and it already sounds like I'm not sponsored to say that on the Sippin' on Stories podcast, not at all. But I've really appreciated having long-term business partners like Samsung and AT&T because they continue to bring business, and it's really nice. There are a lot of ebbs and flows when it comes to being a content creator, especially for a video game like Brawl Stars that is what's called a live service game. A live service game is a game where it is always being changed. There are always new updates. There's always new content being added into the game. They're always changing the old content to make it better. And they're always making things that will either make the gamers happy or
Or mad.
very, very upset. And so when they release updates that people are happy about and it brings new viewers to the game, then I'm like, this is great. That just means that I get more views on YouTube and that I'm able to, do better. But there are a lot of times when they will release bad update after bad update after bad update. And when that happens, let me tell you, it is like, I feel like I am starving and thirsty in the middle of the Sahara Desert. I'm like, please do something right so that I could get more views. And so having continual sponsors and partnerships like Samsung, it just goes such a long way in being it just gives me that little bit of cushion so that I know I can always rely on this. And at least for my year-to-year contract, and it takes a little bit of the worry away. I treat YouTube a lot like professional sports players do, right? Or athletes. I need to strike while the iron is hot, while things are going well, because I have no idea how long things are going to continue doing well. And so I really need to. There's a little bit of a worry of like, this has been so fun, this has been so good. What if I have to drop it because I'm just not pulling in the views and I can't continue?
Yeah, that's
what
scary.
happens. It's it's scary because I've tasted how good it is to make a living doing something that you love. And before you taste that, you're like, that's just life, bro.
Yeah.
You guys just got to do it. You got to suck it up and do what's hard in order to provide for your family. You just do it. And I'm like, I get that. There's a part of me, but at the same time, because I know how good and fun it is, I'm also terrified of having to go back to, physical therapy school, doing something else, and marketing. I have no idea what it would be. It's a scary thing to think about, just being forced to do it, because it would be like you've been given something so good, and then for something to take that away from you,
it'd be so hard.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not a doctor, clearly, but there's a lot of research that shows that people hate losing stuff way more than they enjoy gaining stuff. And
That's
so,
Makes
yeah, there's something about our neural circuitry that just makes us really detest pain. The one comment that is negative on YouTube
you'll
is
read
going
that
to hurt me way harder than the hundreds of comments of people saying that I'm awesome.
Yeah, I hate that that's the case. Why is that? But it's true.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. It goes back to our human biology of like, if you are the social outcast, you were kicked out of the group and then you died. That was terrible. You can't survive in the wilderness alone. So if you're the social outcast and people say something mean to you, you better change something so that you can be with the people. Like, we are hard programmed to avoid pain and being social outcasts as much as possible. It's just what happens.
Yeah, you're right.
So those comments. So when you are huge, Mandy, on this podcast,
I'm gonna be so huge.
And you're getting all the awesome comments, okay? When you hear that one negative comment, just know that the fact that it stings doesn't mean that what they're saying is right. What it means is that you are human and that is a valid experience that you had, because you are hardwired to really hate the negative comments.
I like to tell myself, I'm not going to let it bother me, but I'm sure it would.
I told myself that too, and I was proven very wrong on multiple occasions. Yeah, in fact, my most recent video, I ended it by saying, please remember to be nice, because I have real feelings.
Yeah.
And they do get hurt by strangers on the internet.
Yeah.
It's like almost word for word what I said, because it was a very hot topic discussion where I was once again calling the community idiots for being over.
You could get some bad
crazy
comments for that.
And then also calling out the developers and telling them they need to do better. So
where did you get the name Kairos?
Kairos is an ancient Greek term. I actually say it incorrect. The ancient Greek word is actually Kairos, but I didn't like that, and
Kairos
I didn't know.
Cool.
I didn't know how to pronounce it. But the Greek people in my YouTube comment section have pointed out very intensely that I say it wrong. Apparently, I say Kairos, which is current Greek for weather.
That makes sense.
Like sunny and bright and cloudy and rainy. But Kairos, the ancient word Kairos, is a term that means opportune moment. And so I went with Kairos time, or Kairos time, which is opportune moment time, which is very redundant. But I liked learning about that, and I decided to go for it. And I just came up with the name when I was in a college level writing course that I was taking at the time, and I learned it and I thought it was cool. And then I was making my Clash of Clans account and I was like, I'll go with Kairos time. That's funny.
It has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, it works great. I like it.
Yeah.
If only I said it right. Can't change it now.
No.
And I still don't like Kairos
no
time.
idea.
Kairos time sounds weird.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right. Well, I can definitely relate to you on liking to connect with people. Mine is definitely not on video games either, but the whole reason I started this podcast was because I like to talk and connect with people through their stories and life adventures, and so that's the way I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So I could totally relate to why you would want to start your YouTube channel.
You know, it goes back to the human evolutionary thing. We are hardwired to want to connect with other people because if you can connect with other people, then you become a part of the group and you don't get outcasted and you don't die.
Yep.
So it comes from a very human level thing, and it's been really awesome to be able to see how my channel. It's funny because you might look at my channel and be like, he's like, he's not curing cancer or saving the world from hunger or anything like that. But I love going to live events for Brawl Stars. I went to Dallas for the Brawl Cup recently at DreamHack, and it was great. It was so great. There was this father who came up to me, and originally I had like this meet and greet where him and his son came in, and his son was super excited to meet me, and I talked to him. I was like, "Oh, you're so awesome." And his dad was like, "Yeah, he's been struggling in school." And I'm like, "Well, that makes sense. That's hard. School's hard. Keep at it. You can do hard things," or whatever. Then they left. And then maybe an hour later, the father came back to me by himself without his kid. And he was like, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know that what you do really makes a big difference." And he told me this story about how, the kid's been really struggling, not just at school, but also his mom's kind of like not really in the picture. And he's had a really rough relationship with his mom. And his father said, whenever you release a video, we put you up on the TV. It's a source of positivity, and it makes him feel like he has that connection with somebody and his love of gaming. And it's really cool to see that that this is creating a medium for people to be able to build relationships with other. And it goes way back to me getting a new best friend because we both played the same game. Mm-hmm. It really does. And I love that aspect of it. And I don't always get to see it, unfortunately, because a lot of the times I'm just sitting at my desk. But when I do get to see it, it's really awesome.
The first time you were recognized? That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, man. I used to be able to say yes.
Uh-huh. Not anymore.
I don't remember anymore, which is really unfortunate. My wife would remember.
Yeah, I could ask her.
She would remember. It was probably at some sort of event where I knew I was going to be recognized.
Mm-hmm. Not just out in public.
Yeah, but I don't remember for sure.
Do you want to tell the story about the guy that came to your house?
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, this is going to sound creepy, and it is super creepy, but also I love the guy. Uh-huh. And anyway. So here's what happens. I make a video on, it was like, if I don't get this brawler, I'm going to smash this tablet. And it sounds like I have rage in me or something like that. It was actually a really old tablet. We were retiring it either way.
It didn't matter if you broke it.
It didn't matter. It was like we were going to destroy it. So it was either in the trash can or I get to smash it with a hammer. So I didn't get the new brawler, and so I decided to smash it with the hammer. And I went out to my outside balcony, smashed it with the hammer, and as I'm turning the camera, there is this 3-second just clip where you can see this Target behind me, like the store Target. Mm-hmm. And one of my viewers saw that clip, and he was like, "I think I know where that is." He knew the state that I was in because I said that in a video. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "I'm pretty sure I know where this is." And so from watching that, he figured out that we were on the top floor of this 3-story apartment complex and figured out the exact apartment that we were at from that 3-second clip. And he knocks on the door, and I'm working, and my wife is breastfeeding at the time. And we were postpartum,
things were a mess. This is crazy.
Postpartum sucks.
Yeah.
It's just it's just a hard time in everybody's life. Anybody who says it's awesome, they're lying, I think. But anyways, not a great time. And she opens the door, and he starts shaking, and she's like, "What is going on?" He's like, "Hi." I don't remember what he said, but it was clearly like, she was like, I think, my husband, like, do you know Kairos? And he was like, yeah, I do. And she was like, okay, let me go get him. This is weird. Meanwhile, our newborn's on the couch. My wife's been breastfeeding and doing all sorts of stuff. And like our 4-year-old is in her diaper or whatever. Like, it's not. Anyway, so I come out and he hands us this envelope of $500 cash.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to donate it to us because he really appreciated what we were doing and didn't want any of the money to go towards, like if you donate on YouTube, then yeah, exactly. He wanted it all to go towards us. And we used that money to buy a new dryer, which we desperately needed at the time. And anyway, yeah, to this day, I still know the guy. We still DM privately. I had actually DM'd him privately beforehand. I knew who he was before he showed up. I had no idea he was going to show up.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he lived anywhere close to us.
I could figure out where you were by that target in the background.
Yeah, so now we have security cameras. We don't film anything outside anywhere close to where we live. We don't mention the state that we live in. We, at least not on videos. Yeah. We that was a nice wake up call.
Yep.
And I'm glad that it ended with somebody giving us money than somebody doing harm to us.
And then you moved and didn't have to worry about that anymore with that.
Yeah.
That's
so we moved soon after that.
Yeah.
Once we could. So yeah. But yeah, it's been interesting. A lot of people will talk, like, people are like, how do you make YouTube videos? How does that work? So I figured let's break that down and how that works.
Okay, yeah.
So I mentioned earlier that when we grew up, it was actors, it was radio hosts that people watched for their entertainment, right? You'd watch TV shows, you'd watch movies, whatever. And what happens when you're watching a TV show? I know that this isn't quite the same when you're subscribed to Disney Plus or Netflix or whatever. But in the middle of it, you'd have a 3-minute chunk of advertisements.
Oh, yeah.
Every half-hour episode was really only 20 minutes, and 10 minutes of that was you watching advertisements.
Yep.
The companies, it's so crazy. If I really think about it, you paid money to have cable or satellite television, and a third of what you got was advertisements. Just like, I'm spending money to watch advertisements. Is terrible.
That's still how I feel when I'm watching like Peacock or something, and I'm like,
yeah, it has come back to that, and I'm upset.
Want the ads. Yeah,
we had this like little moment where we could just be subscribed to the one thing that we wanted to watch, and we had no advertisements, and it was beautiful. And then it all got twisted and whatever. But anyway, the idea is that you'd watch television, you'd watch Super Bowl. You're watching the Super Bowl. These companies are paying millions of dollars to show a 10-second ad in the middle of the Super Bowl. Well, the same thing is happening now. The Super Bowl last year, it was on YouTube.
Which is crazy.
Okay?
Yep.
Yeah, it was on YouTube. Not just the Super Bowl, but you have so much other stuff. And you have this younger audience of people that aren't watching cable. They don't even know what cable is. They don't know what satellite television is. Do your kids watch cable TV? Do you pay for cable?
Can you still pay for cable?
Yes, you can. I know the people still do it.
We pay for about like 15 subscription services, but no cable.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like, here's what they're going to do, okay? They're going to eventually come full circle, and they're going to sell you a bundle.
Reinvent cable.
They're going to reinvent it. They're going to send you a bundle of subscription services. So instead of paying, for 6 of them, you'll just pay one convenient fee, and we'll put 12 of them in there. But you're only really going to watch 2 of them. But anyway, that's what's going to happen. But the whole point here is that we have a whole younger audience of people that have no idea what cable is. They don't know what satellite television is. They don't listen to the radio. And all of these advertisements, where are they going? They're going onto Instagram. They're going onto YouTube. They're going onto Twitch. They're going onto these social media platforms where people have this relationship with a content creator that feels way more personal than any sort of actor could feel. Who feels like they have a personal relationship with Taylor Swift, right?
Not me, but I have a relationship with Dax Shepard from Armchair. So
okay, but that's different. See, Dax Shepard is more like what I'm doing, right?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
And you feel like you have this relationship with Dax Shepard, and if Dax Shepard comes to you and he says, "Hey, I have been using 8 Sleep for the last year and a half, and I love it. It has made a big difference for me and my wife, and we get better sleep. You're gonna be like, I trust this guy.
Yep.
This guy knows what he's talking about. He's like my good friend, right? So you're gonna consider doing 8 Sleep. I forget if he's sponsored by 8 Sleep or not.
I think he's Sleep Number.
Sleep Number. That's what it was. Yeah, see what I mean?
Maybe it was 8 Sleep. I don't know, but
no, I think you're exactly right. It is Sleep Number because my wife talked to me about it because she listens to Dax as well. But that's the thing is of this whole new generation of people who are building these relationships with these content creators. Obviously, these relationships are very one-sided, but I don't have individual relationships with the vast majority of my viewers, but I do know of what their general sentiment is and things like that. But they're way more personal than Taylor Swift is. I know people love Taylor Swift. I know she's not even an actress. But you get the idea. Name a famous actor or whatever, you know. For some reason, the only name that's coming to my mind right now is Hilary Duff.
No, I love Hilary Duff, so I think that's...
Yeah, but when we were kids, that's what it was. It was like Hilary Duff would post something like that was the closest relationship that I had with an actor, not Hilary Duff specifically. You know, for me, it was Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, mine was Hilary Duff though, so that was a good one.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
LaBeouf, yeah.
But that's the thing is we didn't have personal relationship with these actors and actresses, but people do have these relationships. And the cool thing is about YouTube is that it's not like watching Cartoon Network where it's like, I'll just watch whatever they put out. No, I get to hyper focus my interests with creators that I am interested in. So I have content creators who I watch. All they talk about is anime. And I'm like, I love anime. Yeah. This is cool. I can't go and watch a TV series about anime, but I can go onto YouTube and join discussions with people that have these hyper-focused interests that I'm really interested in. And it is incredibly entertaining because it feels like they're made just for me. And there are millions of people around the world that have varying differences of interests. Back when we grew up, what did people talk about? They talked about the most recent video or most recent game, sports game, the Super Bowl or whatever. If you weren't interested in sports, you missed out on this massive opportunity for you to really connect with other people.
I remember when I was I don't remember what grade I was, but they were talking about Friends. And I'm like, I didn't have friends. And I was like, oh no, like I'm missing out on this really big thing that all my friends are talking about. I don't know if
you're talking about the TV show, the TV series.
I think it might have been like the finale of Friends or something.
I thought you said that you didn't have friends. And I was like,
I missed out on Friends.
But you couldn't watch Friends.
I couldn't watch Friends.
And so you missed out. They would release a new episode of, Chandler. Did you see what Chandler did? And he was like, that was so funny. And you were sitting on the side like, you don't love me because I can't watch Friends. Exactly. But now it's very different. You get to hyper focus your interest in whatever you're interested in. You could be interested in so many different things. You could be interested in math. There are YouTube channels that talk about math.
That's me. Yeah. I'm interested in math.
Yeah, I know you're interested in math. You've got all sorts of video or podcasts that and all sorts of different things. I'm really interested in the human body still. So I will still listen to podcasts like the Huberman Lab podcast is all about experts that talk about neuroscience and how various things impact us. I love learning about stuff like that because that's something I'm really interested in. And guess what pops up on those series? Advertisements about health and stuff that I'm interested in. And all of a sudden these advertisements these advertisers, they are hyper focusing their advertisements to people that are interested in. Some cheerleading company comes up with this new cheer product or whatever. They go to the cheerleading influencer and they sell through that influencer where they know that 100% of the people that watch the video are going to be interested in what they are trying to sell to them. And so it's better for the advertisement or the advertisers. It's more hyper focused for the content creators and also for the viewers. And it's just everything is shifting away from radio, from video, television and movies, and it's going towards these things. Not everything. There's still definitely an interest. I love Severance. I will watch some awesome TV series, and that still happens. But there's been a massive shift in focus of where the money is going, and a lot of it is going towards these, not just the influencers, but to these platforms. And so how I make money is whenever I release a video and somebody watches an advertisement on my video, 55% of the advertisement revenue that is generated from that goes to me, and 45% of it goes to Google, who owns YouTube. I also earn revenue by doing sponsorships where companies come to me and they say, hey, we want to pay you to do a 30 to 60 second advertisement in the middle of one of your videos. I make videos, or I make revenue through something called the creator code within the game that I cover, where if people are playing Brawl Stars and they want to buy something in the game, they can put my creator code in. It won't give them anything, but what it does is 5% of that revenue goes towards me, 5% of that revenue of their purchase, and that doesn't sound like a lot. If they spend $2 on something, that's 10 cents. But if you have 4,000 people that do that exact same thing, that
adds up.
2 cents turns up to $800.
I'm the math person, but I don't know. I'm not going to do that. Quick math.
That's okay. I always have my calculator right next to me.
You do.
Yeah, so it's just interesting. It's just, yeah.
Would you say you get most of your income from brand deals, or like which one tends to?
It really fluctuates a lot. At different times, it's mostly brand deals. I've had years where it's been a majority by a lot. I've had years, this last year, I had very few brand deals. Right now, my business ebbs and flows a lot depending on the market for everything.
Yeah.
And the reason why is, if the world is in a recession, what's the first thing that companies try and cut? They try and cut, well, other than employees, unfortunately, a lot of the times and their advertising budgets go cut down, and that means that my advertisement rates go down. And so right now things aren't the best for sponsorships, but things are doing really well for Brawl Stars in general at the moment. And so that advertisement revenue is my best. It's never the creator code. The creator code has never been my top earning source, but it still does pretty well. I would say it's maybe the maximum that it ever is like maybe 5%, but or sorry, not 5%, 15 to 20%.
Oh, okay.
It's usually a little bit less sometimes, but anyway, yeah, it's a lot of different sources for revenue, and that's kind of how things worked out. But if anybody were listening right now and were thinking, oh, I want to do this, I want to become a content creator, you may go back to my story where I was putting 100-hour work weeks. And the only reason why I was able to do what I was doing was because I had the 6 months worth of savings for me to be able to do it full time right out. I learned more in the first month of me being a full-time content creator than I had the previous 3 years combined. Like, it's the more effort you put into something, the more you can grow and learn. And so I'm not saying that it's impossible, but the biggest thing is putting in more time and effort and work into it. And the second biggest thing really is luck. I would like to pretend that luck did not play into anything and that it all came to me, but really, I hit the timing was perfect. I got lucky on a lot of different things. I'm lucky that people like the look of my face. You have the perfect YouTube voice. As soon as I watched your first video, I was like, oh, yep, Michael was meant to do this. He sounds like he's meant for YouTube. Like, there's a lot of things that have worked out for me that you can't count on. You can't guarantee it. And so a lot of it has been skill, and I've learned definitely a lot over it, but luck has also played a lot into it. And so you kind of have to be willing to work for pennies to the hour for a long time if you want to make it work out, or do what I did and just start it out as a hobby because it's fun.
And hopefully it is fun before you start. Otherwise that sounds not fun. So
yeah, I don't think that anybody should really try and make it work out if you're not already passionate about it. And the reason why I say that is because, again, people can smell the BS from a mile away. They're going to know that you're not into it, and they're not going to be into your content because of it. So do it if you're into it. And if you like the idea of it, try it. Don't expect anything to happen from it anytime soon, but just know that it can be really fun. And there is a human desire for creation, and getting that satisfied, whether or not you are actually making revenue from it, is still incredibly fulfilling in a lot of different ways.
Thank you for coming on the podcast today, Michael.
Yeah, you're welcome. This has been so fun.
It has been fun. It's rare that I talk to you and not you and you and Michelle together. So
I know.
So it has been fun. I've had a smile on my face probably the whole time because it's just, well, obviously I've been on the sideline watching you grow from the beginning. And so
you and my wife, you guys talk a lot.
Yeah.
All the time.
A lot.
Every day.
So
it's been fun, and it's been a really fun journey, and I'm really excited about it. And hopefully other people find it interesting, entertaining at the least, maybe somewhat informative.
I think all those things.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much for having me on here. This has been a blast.
It has. You have a great day, Michael.
Thank you. And everybody listening, make sure you subscribe to Sipping on Stories. I don't know how you do it on podcast. Subscribe, like, follow, drop all the comments down there if you can.
Yeah, thank you. You could do that for me. I usually say that, so I'll let you say it for me this time.
Yeah, support the creators who you love. And if you're still listening here, clearly you love Mandy. So you got to show her that love.
One of the two, yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
And you can check out Michael's YouTube channel, Kairos Time Gaming.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you so much.
Yep, bye. I really hope that you enjoyed that interview with Michael and that maybe you learned something. I know that I did. I thought it was really fascinating to hear about the research that he did at the very beginning of really launching his YouTube channel, when he was talking about looking at other videos and taking notes about what was working for them and what wasn't working for them. And I thought that was really cool and really smart. And I'm proud of him for the success. Oh my gosh. For the success that he has had with his YouTube channel. I know that I said this in the podcast, but I really can relate to him when he was talking about wanting to create something and have a way to connect with people over something that he really enjoys and loves. And I can relate because that is why I started this podcast. I have always really enjoyed talking to people and hearing about their lives, sometimes, their entire life story, even if I'm just meeting them or talking about something really deep and emotional and vulnerable when I haven't even met them before. I just really value it. I just think that it just makes us all feel even more human, just realizing that we all have something that we can connect and relate to each other on, and nobody ever really knows what somebody's life is like and the things that they have gone through. Sometimes they're not that deep, sometimes they're just funny, but I just love hearing all of the things. So yeah, I'm just really grateful that I have this podcast so that I can connect with the other people that also enjoy hearing fascinating stories or moments from people's lives. And I know Michael said this towards the end of the episode when he was saying, support the creators that you love. And so I just want to say thank you for supporting me in this endeavor with this podcast. And on that note, I will see you here again next week for another episode of the Sippin' on Stories podcast. Bye, you guys.